now I want to talk a little bit about, to close out, kind of some of the things that I think that the left is missing. And not necessarily missing, but I think some things that we need a little bit more of going forward. And I think that one of the things that the left really has right now, and kind of historically, but right now, is that we have the youth on our side. And one thing that I think that, like, I'm 30 years old, so like I'm kind of starting to see life differently because I have a lot more behind me. So like one thing that I think a lot of young people can do is feel like if a victory isn't huge, it doesn't count. Or if change isn't sweeping, then what's the point? But I think that it's important for us to all keep our eyes on smaller victories, not in a sense of we have to accept them for what they are, but just realizing that those small victories are building blocks that we can build momentum upon. So keeping our eyes open for, not necessarily just things that are going on at the federal level, but the state level, the local level. It could be happening in government. It could be happening in communities. It could be technologies that are becoming available for people to take advantage of. It could be new companies, new startups, literally anything that's of a win for our fight, to take advantage of it and to use it as a building block. Because one of the important things that I've learned as I've been in this space is that, it's easy to get caught up in not getting your way all the time, or get caught up in just kind of the realities of the world. But if you really pay attention, there's a lot of people all over the place that are fighting every single day, that are getting those little W's that eventually that dam breaks. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think is important for young people to keep in mind, is that those little victories, that's reality. And that's what we got to work with, because the other side, the people who don't work in good faith, the people who don't go about their lives in good faith, they get little victories too. And those little victories add up for them. And that's just the game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody getting little victories here and there. So it's really just a matter of who's going to be the most patient, who's going to have the most tenacity, who's going to have the most endurance, and who's just going to keep pounding away. You know what I'm saying? Let the other motherfuckers get tired, but you don't get tired. And if you do get tired, you keep those feet moving. So that's what it is. And then another thing that I think is important for us to realize is that the left needs more allies. We need people who are willing not necessarily to just give money to the cause, but people who are just more willing to believe in the cause and see the ideas that we have and how it's really, because oftentimes things get misconstrued like we're trying to build some utopian society, when in reality, most people just want better access to healthcare, better education, better wages, stuff like that. And when you really look at the left, people are kind of all over the place in terms of, there's plenty of disagreement, and that's fine. That's okay. But I think that one of the things that the left can get caught up in is trying to be more holier than thou, and being kind of gatekeepers, So like if there's somebody who kind of enters into our space, and like myself included, you feel me? Like he kind of enters into the space and kind of gets some influence, and maybe they don't fully agree with something that's like super left. Maybe they're like a little bit more capitalistic because maybe they own a couple of businesses. Is that really worth kicking them out of the club? I don't think so. I mean, now somebody like if it's revealed that this motherfucker's like, doing like some trifling shit, like ripping people off and like committing scams and, you know what I'm saying? Like doing some nasty shit, hurting people. Okay, well, now we really got some juice. But like if somebody's just a little bit different in how they maybe see this issue or that issue, or maybe they just need a little bit more encouragement to open their mind up, again, including myself, which as I've entered this space more, my mind has been opened to a lot of things, or to realize in the faults in some of my thinking. But some of what we need to do is realize that we need more allies. And that could even just mean using motherfuckers. I mean, to tell you the truth, like, because we need wins, we need money, we need resources, we need tangible things so that we can get policies passed. We can't just get policies passed in good faith. So even if we got to use motherfuckers, okay, let's do it. Let's play the game. But we need more allies. So I think there needs to be a little less gatekeeping and a little more, okay, let's let's get what we can. Let's do what we can. Let's work with what we got. And let's keep the base growing. Let's keep the tribe growing. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that as well, that will allow ourselves to expand and maybe have better ideas as well with policy. And the last thing in terms of what I think the left really needs to realize and focus on is that fighting the good fight, it's about the marathon. You know what I'm saying? We have to outlast the conservative forces against change. And that's all life has ever been. And the more that I learn about history, the more that I learn about where we've been, what we've done, and how we've done it, the more faith I have in humanity, because what we do is we overcome, we figure shit out. We come together. We look past things. Sometimes now, granted, we do shit too late. Unfortunately, we do things too late all the time. You know what I'm saying? We're like, damn, why couldn't we have? Well, hindsight is so clear. You know what I'm saying? But I think that, again, what are some of the benefits that we have now that we didn't have before? Well, we got technology like a motherfucker. I mean, I had my first cell phone when I was 14, and I got little cousins, you know, the little Gen Zers and below. I mean, these little 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, they know how to work cell phones better than me. Like, how do you know how to do that? They know how to unlock things. They know how to go on this website, that website. And that makes a huge difference. That everything has its pros and cons, because in terms of like social skills, we've suffered. However, there's something to be said about having access to the truth at a very young age. And if you live in a good household, you come up in good parents, or at least have responsible or good, healthy adults or role models around you, they're going to teach you kind of the things like how to think, how to navigate information and stuff like that. So again, it's about the marathon. So again, those 3 things that the left is missing. Keep your eyes on the smaller victories. We need more allies. So, kind of turn the gatekeeping down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now we kick the trifling motherfuckers out of the tribe. The people who mean no good, yes, we kick them out. But if somebody a little bit different, okay, who cares? Let's do what we got to do. And again, fighting a good fight is a marathon. It is absolutely not a race.